Wolf cut, what is it? Should you get it? Why is it popular? I'm gonna be talking all about that cool stuff coming right up. All right, guys, what is a wolf cut? I mean, I gotta be really honest with you. When I heard that, I was just like, I had to look it up. I didn't even know what it was. But after some, looking up, doing a little research, I'm gonna share with you what I learned. You don't have to go search out anything. You're gonna learn it in this video today. So first off, what is a wolf cut? A wolf cut is a soft, shaggy combination between a classic shag and a severe mullet. That is by definition what a wolf cut is. Some really cool things to think about. A wolf cut can be for any gender, all right? Whatever, right? Where did a wolf cut originate? Well, it originated in South Korea, and it really got its name from the fur of a wolf. So that's by definition, all right? The really crazy thing is a wolf cut is often set with a soft tousled perm, a loose perm, to kind of give it that texture. We're not gonna do a perm today, but I'm gonna show you how to give texture to create this look. So without further ado, let me take a little sip. Let's get this started, guys. Okay, guys, so with the wolf cuts, having elements of a shag and then having elements of a mullet, really we're just gonna part off for that. The super interesting thing is that you can part this really pretty much any direction. You can part it in the center, like the left, the right, any side that you specifically want to part this. The one thing that we are gonna be doing is we're gonna be parting basically from the top of the head, and we're gonna be working this area as like the shag, and then this area as the mullet-ish, severe mullet. So as we cut this first, we're gonna be taking this and getting rid of this. So we're gonna part this all up. So let's go ahead and do that now.
How do you expect me to? How do you expect me to?
Okay, so this is actually the parting that you guys want to start with. So you want to actually find where your fringe is at, and if you want to know how I did that, I'm going to go ahead and link another video below. But you're going to see how this essentially is going to be the front. So when you're talking about a wolf haircut, it usually it can have like fringe that's a little bit longer. You can have fringe that's kind of shaped like this, so it goes from like short to long through here, so it can kind of have a little bit more of a curtain style. It can be very, very textured. It can be very, very blunt. But this is where a lot of the kind of wolf look is going to come from. Then you've got your sides right through here. Now this is where this essentially kind of like this shag-ish look. So you're going to have a lot of layers coming through this specific area. Now, the length in the back and through the top is really where this is gonna come from back through here. So I usually found where I part, and you can see it goes on the top of the ear. So let's cruise around here. So right through here, you can see where this line basically ends on the top of the ear, right behind the back of the ear, right through here. So, and that's also on this side as well. So you're gonna start to see where this is gonna become the shag. This is where it's gonna become the mullet. And you can cut this mullet. It doesn't have to be super severe, but we are actually gonna make it very severe today because we really kind of wanna show off how cool this can be on the extreme level. But you don't have to keep this length as long back through here. So let's go ahead and get this started. We're gonna start in this fringe area, right through here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna subdivide this between 3 sections. So 1, 2, 3. Now this will be like the second, and then that'll be the third right through there, okay? Well, let's go ahead and just get this out of the way, just like that. So as I start to cut this, guys, I am just going to be doing about a medium point cut. Nothing too super long there. Now, the one thing I really want you guys to notice is that I made this a very subtle round. Now, what I mean by that is that the shortest point is gonna be right here in the center, and then a very subtle kind of roundness on each side. So that would kind of slightly resemble, you know, kind of pulling these in just a little bit, not on an extreme level because we're not going like super far, but we're just giving just a subtle little roundness to it. Now this is where the shortest point of this specific haircut is gonna be. It's gonna be in the fringe area. Now, a lot of times you've actually seen where I cut things around the face when I'm actually doing a shag, and we actually layer from the longest point on the fringe. We're not gonna be doing that today. That's not really how this haircut works. How this haircut works is that this haircut is disconnected from the sides. So not everything blends from that point down. So what we wanna do is we're gonna have it be two different points. So you can see where that point is right through there. Now what we wanna do is that we're gonna come down probably about 2 inches, and then we're going to layer everything from there. So what you're starting to see on this is that you can actually really start to see where you're gonna have this open up where the fringe is at, and then you're gonna have these layers that create that classic shag effect. So we've done her left side, your right side. Now, what we wanna do now is that we're gonna connect the two portions. As we start to look through this, I'm gonna take a guide right through here, and I wanna make sure that this is connected at the same point right through here. And what you wanna do, because if you're gonna actually be doing this on yourself, or if you're gonna be doing this in the salon, you can actually hold this together just like this. So these two pieces connect at the same point. If I'm actually holding this directly straight forward, you're gonna see how those connect right at the front. You know, it's a way to kind of check your work, make sure you're working right, because I like to think that I'm super balanced. You know, my life is balanced, you know, family, work, artistically, you know, I think I'm doing a pretty good job. But sometimes when I'm in the salon, I'm like, oh, so I just cut your hair and it's crooked. So my client's like, yeah, that side's a little bit longer. I'm like, I like to think I'm perfect. A lot of the times I'm just not. You really wanna check your work. Super important, guys, because last thing you wanna do, make something uneven. The one thing I wanna look at now, I wanna, again, make sure I'm even. So I'm gonna take that same section. I was over here on this side. Now we're gonna comb this forward, and we're gonna make sure that we are even. Let's take that bottom portion here, look at that. Use that nose as a guide, and you can bring that forward right there, and you can look and see, all right, cool, we're doing pretty well. You know, the really cool thing is that those pieces are where that texture is gonna come in. And we will go in and cut that texture in a few, but right now we want to get that main basic shape around the perimeters. That's what's super important right now. Now, as we take down this back portion through here, you can really start to see how that extends. You can see that length back through here, and that's where that extends that mullet. I mean, the really cool thing about this is that you guys could do this on super long hair, which would just be awesome. And you could actually have this length hitting about your longest point down through here, and then just round that out right through here. So you can do this on any gender. It can work great for male, female, whatever. The cool thing is that this shape, since it has like, it should have texture in there, whether the texture you put it in with some curls, like a wand, you know, whether you do some sort of loose perm, whatever it may be. Again, this originated from South Korea, and in the salons there, they have really, really straight hair there, but you know, that's where they put a little bit of a loose tousled perm in there to bring out this texture. So what we wanna look at now is we're gonna be looking at these pieces right through the top, and you can see how short, see how short these pieces are right through here, right? Now with this, we want to connect, you know, connect-ish to where it kind of doesn't just like drop off in the back. What we're gonna be doing, this is really how you do the top portion, is we're gonna be taking a round section. So I'm gonna have you guys cruise around and I'm gonna kind of show you how this round section just kind of follows all the way towards the back of the head. And this is basically about the center, the back of the head, and then it rounds up right above, probably about 1.5 inches below, above the ears. Now, the thing is that I'm gonna be taking all of this hair up and I kind of smooth it all out right through here. Now, you're gonna start to see where the longest bit of that layered hair is at, okay? Now we can start to see our guide right through here. Now this is gonna be the hair that actually was traveling forward right through here. So we're gonna be cutting all of this hair right to that point. Now you can take this in sections, but a lot of times when I'm in the salon, I like to speed things through. So we're gonna take this up, we're gonna see where our guide is at, right through there. I'm gonna go through and I'm just kind of like, again, taking and softening that up a little bit. So as we can start to see now, what is happening is that the severity of that mullet shape and then having those layers that really kind of like round out, as you start to look at that, you can start to see how that's going to look. And it's actually looking really, really super fun because again, you start to have like a lot of concentration in this area. You're gonna have some volume. If you have straight hair, keep in mind guys, your straight hair is probably not gonna be this voluptuous. You know, you might have to add a little bit of texture in there. There's already texture in this hair naturally, but you can start to see how that shape is looking. So again, let me recap really, really quick, guys. We cut the fringe, okay? We did a very soft point cut. Then we took those sections and we brought that forward to create these like disconnection between the shortest point in the fringe and then those kind of shaggy layers around the front. Then what we did is we took a round and we held this up and we cut it right to the shortest point of where these layers hit, held it up to here, and then cut everything to that point. We're not going to blend the rest of what's happening right through here because again, this is the kind of shape that we're gonna be getting. Again, this is a wolf cut. Wolf cut, like the name is kind of interesting. I didn't really get it at the beginning, but you know, hey, when we go to style this, guys, the really cool thing is that we want to bring out the texture. So I'm going to naturally air dry this. So I'm gonna be using a little bit of a diffuser because I wanna bring out that texture. And then I'm probably gonna go through with some sort of wand or iron, depending on the texture that I get after kind of like letting this air dry. Because if the texture is already cool enough, this is exactly matches the kind of effect that you wanna get from the wolf look. Wolf, you know, yeah, all right, let's go with it, right? One of my favorite diffusers, okay? This is basically, you can attach this to any blow dryer. Really how we're gonna be using this is we're gonna take this and we're just really going to kind of set it in here to bring out this texture just like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and link that below if you wanna check it out. You can use it pretty much on any dryer. Hopefully your end's not too big. That's what she said, huh? Yeah. crack myself up sometimes. My wife always tells me, she's like, you like laughing at yourself. I'm like, yeah, you know, I think I'm pretty funny. Hopefully you guys think that, you know, there's some funny comedic things in here. Because you know what? Have some fun with it, guys. Really, that's what it's all about. So how I'm gonna be using this, okay, you just put it on just like so. And then what I wanna do is whenever I'm diffusing hair, I don't really wanna like turn it on full blast. I usually start to turn it on a very soft flow first with high heat. And then I kind of just, you know, start testing it out. And then I'll usually start to turn it on a more speed. So as you guys can see, as I started to dry this using a diffuser and not really traditionally trying to like bring up a lot of volume, I was really just kind of setting that diffuser in there. And you know, because the hair is naturally going to expand out. There's texture in this hair. If you don't have naturally wavy or textured hair that you can kind of encourage like this, then you're gonna have to use some sort of like curling iron, some sort of rod, something to give texture. You could even take that a step further and get some sort of like loose perm, you know, because again, you want to create texture that is just very similar to this, okay? Now, when it comes down to me finishing and texturizing this, the only thing that I really want to texture is I'm not really gonna go through and texture much of this area. I'm really just gonna go into the fringe. Now, one of the things about working with fringe is I'm going to take the rest of this hair and I'm just gonna kind of push this out of the way, just like so. And I'm gonna do this a little bit more dry. Now, I'm gonna be taking a feather razor. You can use any type of razor. Now, the length is perfect, but really what I wanna do is I wanna go in and I wanna loosen it up just a little bit. I'm gonna be taking random bits and I'm really just gonna start to lighten it right there in the front. And I'll take and I'm gonna push a little bit of that top portion away. I'll take a little bit of this bottom portion right through here. And I'm really just adding just a little bit of texture, almost to where you can start to see through it just a little bit. Take some of this one that overhangs right through here. And I'm not cutting all the way through. As you can see, this is a very light movement. I'm not going super aggressive with it. We're not going to be going and taking off like too much more because I don't really want it to shrink up too much more. Try not to kick, if you're doing this on a client, kick them. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, we don't want to do that. Lean on them. Like, that's my signature move. You know, hey, yo. Oh, no, we're not going to do that today either. But again, just going in and just really opening this up just a little bit to where you can kind of see a little bit of that skin underneath. And again, if you go in with product and you kind of part that, you can start to see those openings a little bit, definitely kind of like affect how the rest of that kind of looks. You know, the thing about a wolf haircut and everything, that all the research that I've been doing is it's really just, it's got this kind of very undone effect to it, to where, you know, you have a little bit of disconnection from some of those top layers and you have that length hanging down through here. And again, you don't have to keep that length as long. We could bring that length up to about this specific area right through there. The thing also you kind of have to understand is that these like are heavy, you know, you've got heavy points right through here. This is where that layer kind of starts right through there. So, you know, again, loosening up just a little bit right through here. Let's go ahead and finish this off. I really want to finish this off to bring out the texture that we've already like created in here. So I want to give it a little bit more definition. All right, guys, so a product that I'm actually going to be using right here, it's from Davina's, and it is a definition mist. It's from Angelo Seminara. This stuff is super cool. It smells amazing. You guys want to smell it? Yeah, smell that. Get a whiff of that. Whew. But how I actually want to spray this is, again, we're going to spray this kind of throughout the hair. Just really kind of spray it just right over the top. And then I'm going to actually be using my hands to just a little bit define this. And you can start to see how that separation and that definition really comes out. you know, which is super fun. This stuff is, again, it's not super heavy. You get that shine in there and it really just kind of takes away from that kind of like dry looking, because sometimes if you're doing it with like that curl, with that wave in there, you know, sometimes you just don't want that dryish texture in there, but you don't want the hair like super shiny either. So it's kind of like having that happy medium. Guys, I really hope you guys found value in today's video and creating something that is super trending right now. And again, it's a combination of a classic shag and a little bit more of a severe mullet. Is a wolf haircut a mullet? Not necessarily. It's kind of a combination of both. So, you know, do your own research. Know that you can personalize this for you, for your clients, whatever it may be. Again, you can cut things shorter. You can actually leave it a little bit longer. You can have this whole thing be shorter. The cool thing is it's really meant for anybody, guys. So if you guys dug this, share this, send it off to somebody, give them some love. Give me some love. You know how I like love. Guys, my name is Jake Thompson Hair. If you haven't subscribed, go and subscribe. If you haven't liked, go ahead and comment. I'll get back to you. I'll see you guys in the next video.